Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be joining us from the globe. Thank you for joining us in this session where I'll talk about how migrating and modernizing to AWS can help you achieve your business outcomes. My name is Faraz Shafiq, and I'm the worldwide head of product management for cloud migrations and modernizations for Amazon Web Services. Quick anecdote. Before joining AWS, I was in the technology and telecom sector for roughly about 22 years. And one thing that I noticed by being a senior IT leader is that you're always bugged into so many different conversations. Some are related to the business, some are related to technology. And as a senior leader, you're always making very tough choices in how do you optimize your business and ensure that you're continuously set up for success. And while you're trying to manage and maintain your existing technology roadmap, technology and infrastructure is expensive. So doing that in a simple, straightforward way while justifying your business direction becomes really hard. When I was in the tech side, I had access to technical folks, so technical and resources around engineering were not a big issue. But then I actually did a small stint for a few years into a large nonprofit healthcare organization. That's where I realized that, access to talent that I took for granted was actually extremely hard. Many of the lines of business presidents were talking to me about, well, how do you actually help, you know, um, significantly improve the quality of services that they were trying to do. And every time I'd say it's going to take 18 months or 16 months because infrastructure is slow moving, it's hard. Some of our systems don't talk to each other. A lot of customers have mainframes, then there's different types of workloads. So how do you bring all of that together? Because at the end of the day, what our customers care about is the service and the level and the quality of service that they receive. And that's when I really realized the power of the cloud and how we can actually help customers migrate. So it's less about the technology, it's about how you use the technology to make sure that it's enabling your business strategy and business outcome. And what we've seen is a pattern across all different industries and segments. We've been very lucky to help thousands of customers do large scale migrations to AWS. And one thing that you'll notice on the slide is that our customers are across the breadth and depth of the industries and geos and different segments that we can. There's very traditional names like Nationwide and Dow Jones that are in very traditional businesses and are really thinking about how they reinvent and redefine how they operate. And then you have a lot of digital native businesses like Airbnb, Slack, and Robinhood. Businesses that really are born on the cloud and want to optimize how they run their businesses even further. And the best part is, it really doesn't matter what industry or what segment or what geography you belong to. Moving to the cloud still remains one of the fastest and the best and the most economical way to achieve business outcomes. And we went back to some of our customers that we help migrate and modernize to really start to understand what is the real benefit that they're receiving. Because quantitatively, it's hard to put numbers just at a high level. So we really wanted to understand and qualify what are the different benefits that our customers are getting. So we went back and we published a few studies and actually spoke with a lot of our customers, and we were just amazed at the number and the quality of the results that we were receiving. Companies like Dow Jones, which is a large media and entertainment company, they realized 25% in cost savings. They had a massive infrastructure bill, which actually got significantly reduced, and the operations got much, much better. They were able to ship out products roughly 3 times faster when they did before. Coca-Cola, it's a global beverage company, very household name, and they went from processing queries in 36 hours to just 10 seconds. Live Nation's another great example. Live Nation is one of the world's leading live media and entertainment company. And they were really struggling with how they manage traditional IT tasks because the demand curve and the progress is very cyclical. When you have events, you need a lot more capacity. When you don't, you're not using as much. So Live Nation was really struggling with that. And by moving to AWS, they were able to save roughly 60% in cost over their infrastructure. Expedia is a global travel company, and they were really focused on innovation. And their big thing was, well, how do customers make sure that they can get the best price, the best offers for whatever they want to travel? So for them, innovation was a huge thing. And by moving to AWS, their innovation pipeline actually improved by 5x. So just amazing results across the board. And when you think about the results and try to dive deep into how those results come across, you'll see that irrespective of the key business driver, moving to AWS still remains one of the best and the most economical choice. A lot of our customers come to us thinking about how they can save money and improve their infrastructure quality. Others talk about digital transformation, making sure that they can leverage Internet of Things, AI, ML. Many customers want to go global quickly. They might do this through mergers and acquisitions or divestitures or just organic growth. Cloud, literally, you can scale globally within minutes. And that's the real power of the cloud, that you have many types of different compelling events or business reasons across the board, be it cost savings, be it data center exits, or really positioning yourselves up for the future and making sure that you're setting up your organization for success through new innovations, new technology investments, through new sort of scope areas. Moving to the cloud is going to be one of the best ways to do that. And we started to look at this as an aggregate level, and we worked with IDC to really understand how can we help customers quantify the business values as they're making these big decisions. We know these are large-scale transformations, so we wanted to understand the impact of the cloud. And the study published was extremely encouraging. On average, customers can expect to save 31% in cost over their comparable infrastructure that they run today. Not only that, 62% efficiency in their IT infrastructure management and staffing, which is an extremely powerful number when you think about the type and the quality of resources required to do large-scale infrastructure management. And probably one of my most favorite is the increase in agility, which can be up to 75%. These are average numbers. That means depending on the situation, you could even get much higher benefits than this. And probably one of the best things about this is that these numbers are synergistic. That means you don't have to pick one or the other. You can actually optimize cost while also gaining all the benefits that agility has to offer. That's the power of the cloud, that you're really gaining all of these business outcomes in a very seamless way. Now, AWS has a very unique vantage point in that we've helped migrate thousands of customers at a large scale, and many more across the board. And they represent all the different industries and segments and geographies. And what we've come down to is, well, what would it take for us to actually help customers move to the cloud successfully and also in an accelerated fashion? So I'm going to share some tips with you on how to make that happen. And then I'll also talk about the framework that we use at AWS to ensure that you are successful as you move to the cloud. Number one is having a very strong executive sponsorship. It comes with sort of no anchor points that moving to the cloud is as much of a cultural shift as it is a technological shift. So having a strong champion right at the top is going to be extremely important. So try to understand who are your supporters, who are your cloud champions, and make sure that it's super clear that you're connected at the top and understand the business drivers from that vantage point. It's really key. The other thing is, I spoke a lot about cloud, moving to the cloud, driving business outcomes. So making sure that your goals that you're trying to set as you're moving to the cloud also reflect that. Because if cloud is going to help you advance your business outcomes, your goals and your milestones should be based on those. So setting really bold outcome focused goals always helps. We've seen great customer examples where the leadership has said, we want to get out of this data center within 3 months and modernize 1,500 applications in the next 8 months. Goals like that really drive behavior. So making sure that the goals and milestones are really bold are going to be super powerful. Then the third one is all about building momentum. And I like to call it, how do you build an early muscle? Obviously, doing something from the start requires a new type of muscle. So learn by doing. Instead of planning and spending more cycles on just learning, you can actually migrate a few apps and see along the way how easy it is. And we've got a great set of resources, with people, technology, tools, and partners to help you do that. But our philosophy and our mantra is learn by doing. Try to move some of those apps early and get a deep understanding of the pitfalls, so that once you have figured that out, then you can rapidly scale much faster. And then finally, it's about taking a sophisticated portfolio-driven approach. Not every application needs to be modernized, and not every application needs to be migrated. Some could be retired. So it's really how you think about your entire IT portfolio and not just those applications in a single isolated way. Some will have a lot more business power and business need versus others that are more business as usual. So having a strong understanding of your portfolio and your environment is going to be super essential to build the right strategy. Let's talk a little bit more about what that actually means. So when we say take a portfolio-driven approach, what we're saying essentially is leverage the full spectrum of migration and modernization patterns available to you. What you're seeing on the screen are just some directional numbers, but essentially what it says is that in a typical IT portfolio, you're going to have business applications that are low rate of change, not business critical. For those, you may just want to repurchase or look at a SaaS-based option. Some applications may be completely outdated, and once you sort of redesign your environment, you may realize that you actually don't need those applications, or you don't need them in the way that they are functioning today. So you can actually retire them. Many applications are low-hanging fruit. You can literally just lift and shift them, so you don't have to think too much about the complexity and the scale. Lift and shift motions actually enable you to take care of that low-hanging fruit very quickly, because then you can really spend time on focusing on the applications that are business critical, that are really changing in how you operate and how do you keep your competitive advantage. So you should modernize those applications. So, we basically engage with our customers and make sure that our customers understand their IT portfolio and are able to leverage the full spectrum of migration patterns. By doing so many different migrations and helping thousands of customers, we've also gained a lot of experience. And what we've done is we've taken that experience and made sure that we help our customers across the board with best practices and by hands-on immersive approaches. So again, as I mentioned, it's all about learning through doing. So EBAs or experience-based accelerations are a great way in which we can actually help customers, take early momentum, build that early muscle, and learn and basically scale when they really figure out how this thing actually works. Now, I'll quickly talk about the AWS Migration and Modernization Acceleration Program. All the stuff that I mentioned before about frameworks, tools, and technology, what we saw was a big need for our customers to basically help with large-scale migrations and modernization. We want our customers to benefit from all the different types of advantages that I mentioned before. So we took the learnings that we had from migrating thousands of customers, and we spoke to our customers and identified what are the key needs, and basically packaged all of those learnings into what we call the AWS Migration and Modernization Acceleration Program. It is a 6-dimensional program, and as you can see, we're helping customers across all of those 6 very core dimensions that are critical for migration success. We bring in the best methodology, the best frameworks, and the best practices on how customers can successfully migrate and modernize to AWS. We focus on tooling across AWS as well as our rich partner ecosystem to make sure that customers can benefit from the various tools that will help significantly accelerate the journey that they're going to take on with the cloud. We've really invested in building out the right ecosystem of partners, and we're proud to have 130 plus migration competency partners in the ecosystem. And professional services are really critical because they really understand how to navigate each of those different IT portfolio strategies. So getting guidance from those services are really, really key. And then we totally understand that this is new. So having curated training offerings for our customers is absolutely probably one of the more critical things that we make sure that we present. And then finally, we offer different types of incentives for our customers because we understand that taking on a migration journey while maintaining your existing infrastructure, could be costly. So to help with double bubble costs, we have investments that AWS makes to ensure our customers are successful. The AWS Migration and Modernization Acceleration Program has a very simple 3-step approach. And we have this in a very standardized way so that our customers can really incorporate this as they sort of understand and take on the cloud journey. The first phase is all about assessment. This is where we like to help the customers understand the business case, understand at a high level, what this journey would look like, actually engage on a migration readiness assessment, which actually helps customer across many different dimensions. Like, are their security policies, completely outdated and needs to be fixed? Do they have a governance or data retention policy? Do they have the right operating model? So all of those things, we actually engage with our customers to basically give a very detailed review into their migration readiness. Then it jumps into what we call the mobilize phase, which is all about building that early muscle and building momentum and gaining experience by actually migrating. So you start at a very small scale, you build a landing zone, you set up a quick environment, you build out a detailed migration plan. If you need, you can actually do a more detailed business case analysis so that you can understand all the different application dependencies and exactly how much cost you can expect to save. You can do a much more deeper discovery. So in this phase, it's all about making sure that we have the right foundations in place so that our customers are much more successful. And then, as I mentioned, we will actually help migrate a few apps and show how easy and how convenient it is to move to the cloud. Once you have that figured out, then it's all about migrating and modernizing, which is literally rinse and repeat. You've done those migrations at a small scale, you've taken out the wrinkles. Now it's all about how do you scale it further and do it at a very, very fast pace. So it's all about scale. And then obviously, as you move to the cloud, we want you to consistently operate and optimize your cloud. So you're basically always gaining the right benefits and the maximum potential and the maximum cloud savings and efficiency that the cloud has to offer. And then eventually, to fully realize the full potential of cloud, modernize your core applications and your key business applications, because they will help you really gain the full benefit of what cloud can offer. Now, we've been very cautiously investing in automation and tooling because we understand that they are really, really important as it comes to helping our customers migrate and modernize in a simple and an accelerated fashion. Wherever it makes sense, we build tools. AWS is proud to have the broadest and deepest set of features and services and tooling. And wherever it makes sense, we'll acquire the best-in-class tools and partner with the best-in-class providers as well. Cloud Endure is a great example of a tool that we actually acquired a few years back, and now we offer it as part of our integrated MAP or Migration Acceleration Program. And Cloud Endure migration remains one of the fastest, most simplest ways to actually do lift and shift migrations, and we offer it free to all of our customers. It's a great example of how AWS is consistently investing on tooling to make sure our customers achieve the right benefits. And it's not just one area of focus. We look at it from a holistic point of view. And we've ensured that we have the broadest, deepest set of features and the most comprehensive set of tools across the board. So if it comes to just the assessment side, so you want to understand the business case, you want to understand app and app dependencies, you want to understand your readiness assessment, there are frameworks and tools out there on that side. If you'd like to quickly migrate and actually learn by doing few migrations, then we have all the right tools in the mobilize phase, for example, AWS Migration Hub, and so many others that we can actually use to help you do that. And then across the board, as I mentioned, once you do migrate, you want to migrate at scale, there's going to be a different set of tools and services across governance, compliance, moving the data, modernization. So AWS is really committed to ensuring that our customers always get access to the right set of tools. We also understand that migration journeys are long, and they're extremely important for our customers. So we've really invested in making sure that our partner ecosystem is well set up and set up for success for our customers. Partners are really key to these transformation journeys. We're proud to have almost 130 plus now migration competency certified partners. That means that these are partners that we've pre-vetted that have displayed a depth in domain knowledge and have actually got great references and great use cases already on how they've helped customers migrate and modernize. They have at least advanced level AWS certifications, so you can count on them to bring in those technical as well as business expertise required for you to successfully move at AWS. And all of them obviously have very established services practices that'll ensure customer success. So across the board, you'll see some logos here. This is absolutely not an exhaustive list, but it's an ecosystem of partners that we're consistently investing in. And one thing you'll see is they're pretty much across the board. So we're very conscious of the different industries and different sizes and different segments. So we've really made sure that, no matter what your use case is, no matter what industry you're part of, we have the right partners that are set up for success with AWS to ensure that they can help you as you go through your journey. So one of the questions that I consistently get a lot from all the different customers that I talk to is, this is great. I understand that cloud's going to help me. I understand the advantages, and hopefully today you also understand that the numbers. When you talk about quantifying the benefit, those numbers are quite significant as well. So how do you actually start, and where do you start? Because it really boils down to that. Well, we've got two very simple mandates for you. One is a business case. As I mentioned, cloud is all about driving business outcomes. So making sure that you understand what are the key business drivers, or why would you actually go on and embark on this journey. So understanding, is it a data center exit? Is it focusing on new technologies like IoT, AI, ML? Depending on whatever the business outcome or business drivers that you're looking for, that's going to be a great place to start, is having clarity on those business drivers. Then getting an ROI, like understanding how your transformation journey is actually going to lead into really strong financial returns and as well as operational returns for your business. That's going to be super, super key. And then having a sense of how certain milestones will actually help drive those key business outcomes. That's going to be quite critical. So start with a strong business case, start with a strong discovery. That's going to be step one. Then it's all about understanding your current state and understanding your readiness at different levels, because readiness is not about just the technological part. It's also about the people, the process, the mechanisms, the operating model, the culture. So there's so many different dimensions where we like to help you understand the readiness of your organization to take on those journeys. Now, the best part is these resources are available to you at no cost. So please engage AWS resources today to help figure out where does your organization stand in terms of readiness. Get free assessments and tooling to understand and look at your environment and identify those areas of opportunities across those 7Rs to ensure that you can leverage the full benefits. And then actually get a business case done so that you can actually quantify while you're qualifying those big business opportunities, and that'll actually help you align with your key business imperatives. So AWS has many resources to help you build that business case, help you do that assessment, and actually get on your way to moving to the cloud. Now, we've got a huge set of resources, as I mentioned before, but I've put in a few curated set of resources that I'm sure will help you on this journey. We have a homepage that talks about all the different types of use cases, along with customer examples, reference architectures. So everything you may need would actually be available. Then there's prescriptive guidances as well. So we know that our customers have certain types of environments. As I mentioned before, that you could have large SAP infrastructure, or you could be dealing with a mainframe. So depending on wherever you have your main IT investments, we actually have prescriptive guidance to help you figure out what's the best path forward. Then we also offer a lot of different immersion days and workshops, typically at no cost. So engage your AWS account representative to understand when you can actually be part of those workshops and immersion days. And as I mentioned before, the philosophy really is learn by doing. So once you actually take on this course, which is sort of a guided, execution, hands-on type workshop, you'll see how easy it is to actually move on to AWS. Finally, you're attending this session because you're curious and you want to learn more about AWS and the power of the cloud. So I invite all of you to learn more and more. We have a lot of free digital courses, including strategies and tools to perform large-scale migrations. We have deep dive classroom sessions from AWS experts, which actually are available virtually. So one of my most popular is Migrating to AWS, which is a 2-day course, walks you through the entire philosophy and ends with actually a hands-on immersion day class. And then you're welcome to explore our white papers, our lab engagements, tech talks, and so much more by viewing the AWS Ramp-Up Guide. So really invite you to take advantage of all of these different resources. Finally, as I mentioned, the key takeaway is we want our customers to be successful in their business outcomes. Our success is in their success. So really understand the business drivers and understand that cloud remains one of the best and the fastest ways to achieve those business outcomes. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you.